Hey guys, today I'm looking at some growth ETFs. If you don't know by the title, I'm looking at ARK Invest ETFs today. And it's been a while, it's been a long time. I've been meaning to get to these for a very long time. But I'm only going to touch on, essentially I'm touching all of them, but I'm really going to focus in on one, okay? So if you're new to this channel, please like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We go over a lot of ETF reviews here on the channel. I do a bunch of dividend portfolio updates and stuff like that. I shouldn't say a bunch. I do monthly dividend updates. Pretty soon, I am going to be sharing my M1 Finance GW ETF channel RV fund. If not a lot of you know, me and my wife are going to retire, go almost 9 years now. In 10 years, we're going to retire, buy an RV, and hit the road. And we're going to do it on a small amount of money. And I'm going to, kick all the naysayers out of the way that say you need $1 million to retire, because we're going to do it with a lot less. So I'm going to be revealing a pie on M1 Finance that I'm funneling all the YouTube, Amazon, Teespring, M1 Finance referral money, all that. I'm funneling all that into a M1 Finance growth pie that I've created. I'm going to share that with you in the next video. So stay tuned for that. So if you're new, like, share, subscribe, see all the good stuff. Comment down below. Let me know you're new. Down in the pinned comment down below is my Amazon link. If you shop on Amazon, a great way to support me is to use that Amazon link and do your normal shopping that you would normally do. And Amazon, if you go through that link, will send me a small commission on qualified purchases, and it doesn't cost you any extra to do so. So that's down below. Also down below is my Teespring link. I need to do some updates on that, but there's some really cool merchandise on there, like that coffee cup right there that says dividends and coffee. Check that out and give me some feedback on that. If you purchase something, awesome, I'd appreciate it, because that's all going to go in to that M1 Finance RV fund. All right, so I really appreciate all of you out there that support me, watch my videos, share, and all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. So we'll get into it today. We are looking at ARK Invest, ETFs focused on disruptive innovation. Now, what I'm looking at today are the actively managed innovation ETFs, and I'm mainly focusing in on ARKK, and that's the ARK Innovation ETF. Now, I've seen some people buy all 5 of these ETFs, and there's really not a reason to do that, okay? Because ARKK basically is the it's actively managed, but it's the index fund per se, quote unquote index fund, of all these other 4. Okay, so ARKK basically holds, it doesn't hold every stock of all these other ones, but it follows all of these, whereas these are just focused on autonomous technology and robotics. This is just focused on next generation internet. This is just focused on genomic revolution. Genomic? How do you say that? And this one is just focused on fintech innovation. So this one kind of is the umbrella. There we go. That's a better word for it. This is the umbrella of all the disruptive ETFs, if that makes sense. So if we look at the summary prospectus, and we'll talk about, because when I look at ARKK, I'm basically talking about all the other ones as well. So if we look at the fund, is an actively managed ETF that will invest under normal circumstances, primarily at least 65% of its assets in domestic and foreign equity securities of companies that are relevant to the fund's investment theme of disruptive innovation. Now, at least 65%. That's pretty low. Now, what they're doing here, this is actively managed ETF, so they keep cash on the side. to take advantage of opportunities of new companies and, make big moves in the stock market. They don't fully invest in they don't put all their cards on the table all at once, or they don't go all in all at once. With passive ETFs, like, your standard VOO, your standard, run-of-the-mill ETFs, they normally do at least 90% of their assets fully invested into the index that they track. ARK Invest only does 65%. So what ARKK covers are these different disruptor type, what's the word I'm looking for, industries or ideas, genomic revolution companies. So this is basically they're looking for products or services that rely on genomic sequencing, analysis, synthesis, or instrumentation. A lot of this can also cover different sectors. So, it could be healthcare, obviously, but it could also be technology, because, a lot of technology is really mixing in with a lot of other sectors, right? You think about Visa or MasterCard, they're considered financials, but they're considered financial technology, right? You think about some of this healthcare stuff, well, they're using a ton of technology to do what they need to do. They also do materials can also fall in there, energy, and consumer discretionary. So very interesting genomic revolution companies. And then they also focus on automation transformation companies. So you're talking about machines, robotics, that type of thing, automation, even automated cars, vehicles, autonomous driving, that fits into there. Energy transformation, so you're talking about solar or different ways to do oil, maybe a cleaner way to do oil, wind, battery technology, things of that nature will be falling under the energy transformation. And then artificial intelligence, again, that kind of falls into the automation transformation companies. But this one, products such as robotics, AI, advanced machinery, semiconductors, databases even will fall into that category. Next generation internet companies. So you're talking cloud storage, Internet of Things, machine learning, social distribution, and social media, that type of thing. And then finally, fintech, which I just talked about. You're talking about payment platforms such as Square, PayPal, blockchain, mobile payments, those types of things that are really becoming a integral part of all of our lives. So the advisor will select investments for the fund that represent its highest conviction investment ideas within the theme of disruptive innovation. So they really break down and try and find those companies that are going to really disrupt other industries or their respective industry. So why ARKK? It's pretty good. It's exposure to innovation. So again, they believe the securities held in ARKK present the best risk-reward opportunities from all of their themes, right? This is the ARKK. Growth potential aims to capture long-term growth with low correlation of relative returns to traditional growth strategies and negative correlation to value strategies. So if you're a value investor and you need a little, like I always talk about, you need a satellite holding or you need a growth bump, this is something that you can do. Also, if you are just a VOO, like a S&P 500 index fund holder, most of these companies will not be in the S&P 500. So this is a good way to invest outside of the S&P 500 and get some hyper growth. Tools for diversification. This is probably what I just said. Offers a tool for diversification due to little overlap with traditional indices. It can be a complement to traditional value growth strategies. Just what I just said. Grounded in research. This is where you pay the 0.75% expense ratio. Combines top-down and bottom-up research in its portfolio management to identify innovative companies and convergence across markets. So, cost-effective. Provides a lower-cost alternative to mutual funds with true active management in an ETF that invests in rapidly moving themes. So, even though this expense ratio seems high in our world of low or no fee passive index ETFs, those that know actual actively managed mutual funds know that 0.75 is actually a bargain for active management. So for ARKK, their weighted average market cap 76.3 billion. Median market cap is 5.9 billion, so that means half are above 5.9 billion and half are below not 5.9 billion. So they really they have a small mid cap tilt to them. So here's where they will show you all. I won't read them all. I'll maybe do the top 5. So in ARKK, 10% of their portfolio is in cloud computing, 9.8% is in e-commerce, molecular diagnostics, so we're getting to the genomic, 9.4%, gene therapy, 7.5%, big data and machine learning, 7.4%, digital media at 7.3%, 3D printing at 7.3%, and Internet of Things at 5.7%. So very spread out. So if we look at particularly ARKK, healthcare, 35.5%, information technology at 28.7%, communication services at 16.5%, consumer discretionary at 11.1%, financials at 3.8%, industrials at 3.8%, and unclassified at 0.6%. So I didn't want to look at this top 10 holding because it's probably outdated on a fact sheet. So we'll go to their front page here, because this is as of 10/22. So ARKK's top holdings, Tesla at 10.25%, Invitae Corp, not sure about that one, 7.85%, Square at 6.48%, Roku at 5.83%, CRISPR Therapeutics at 4.9%, Proto Labs at 3.4%, Slack Technologies at 3.2%, Lending Tree at 3%, Zillow Group at 3%, and Pure Storage at 2.8%. Now, you'll see all these companies have disrupted the industry that they're in. So if you look at Square, payment processing, 6.48%. Roku disrupting the TV industry, 5.83%. Lending Tree and Zillow Group, both disrupting the home buying and mortgage lending industry, and they have a 6% allocation of them. So they're really concentrated here. You're looking at typical number of holdings is 35 to 55 holdings at a time. So they really believe in what they are looking at. So again, you have 5 of them. ARKK and ARKQ. I just wanted to point out, if you go to ARKQ, you'll see Tesla is at basically 10% weighting. You look at ARKW, you have Tesla at almost 10% weighting, and you look at ARKK and you have Tesla at over 10% weighting. So this is why I say pay attention to what you're buying here, because you don't need to buy them all. And if you did, like if you bought all three of those, you'd have a 30% exposure to Tesla. That may be what you want, I don't know. But the ARKK is the umbrella of all the disrupted innovations of ARK Invest. And if you wanted to invest in all of them, ARKK is the one to go. If you just wanted to focus in on one of their innovations, then you can pick one of the others as a satellite holding. So that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned to the next video. I'll show you which one I picked for my portfolio and the M1 Finance ETF channel RV fund. That's going to be coming up on Saturday. So you guys have a great day. Please leave me a comment down below, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye-bye. I am not a financial advisor. The information contained in this video is for entertainment and informational purposes only. It is not intended to be investment advice. Please seek a licensed professional for any investment, tax, or legal advice. Thank you.